Hello internet friends, my name is Rich. Thanks so much for joining me today on the Toy Aisle Alliance YouTube channel. Haven't done a video in a while, so I thought I would do kind of a catch-up video. Not a video about ketchup, but a video catching up on some toys and other dorky stuff I've bought recently, but hadn't done a video for. We will start off with a couple of on-screen flashes. First off is the Ezra Miller Justice League movie Flash from DC Multiverse. I don't buy a lot of modern-day superhero movie action figures. I sort of have a rule for myself where I'm mainly going to buy the comic book versions of superheroes. However, this guy I found him at Toys R Us the other day on clearance for $15. Plus, I had a $5 off gift card. And I figured for $10, I will break my rule. I've broken my rules for much less than $10. But for $10, I thought I would pick this guy up. And I really think Mattel did a heck of a job on this figure. A lot of detail in the Flash costume. I'm not a huge fan of this particular costume. I really liked Ezra Miller's take on Flash, but the costume is quite busy, although it has grown on me. But Mattel did a great job replicating that in plastic form. So that was pretty cool. Speaking of on-screen flashes, I also picked up the new Mattel, I guess they're calling it the Signature Collection, the DC Multiverse Signature Collection, 90s TV Flash, played by, I believe the actor's name was John Wesley Skipp or Ship. He plays Barry Allen's dad in the current CW Flash series, as well as a version of Jay Garrick as well. Really interesting new series by Mattel. He comes loaded with accessories. Well, not loaded, but he comes with a bunch of hands. There's an action figure stand in there, as well as a flight stand attachment. There's the back of the packaging. I haven't opened them yet. There's also a Val Kilmer in this wave. So basically, it looks like this signature collection is going to be action figures based on sort of older DC movies and TV. So like I said, there's a Val Kilmer Batman. We have the 90s Flash, 90s TV Flash. A Linda Carter Wonder Woman prototype was shown. And I'm very, very nostalgic for superhero TV shows and movies from the 70s and 80s. So if I could get a Christopher Reeve Superman and an Adam West Batman and a Linda Carter Wonder Woman and then throw in this 90s Flash, that would totally hit my nostalgia button. So, very interesting series to keep an eye on. I probably will pick up the Val Kilmer Batman because it's Batman. I just haven't seen him yet. And again, he was found at Toys R Us. These actually first started showing up in Canada before the U.S. at Walmart. My crappy Walmart has not gotten them in yet, but like I said, Toys R Us did get them in. What else do we have? Speaking of things I don't usually buy, I got the new Gypsy Avenger from the Pacific Rim Uprising sequel to Pacific Rim. I liked Pacific Rim. I didn't love it, and I don't collect any of the figures, but for whatever reason, I really have always dug the designs, and I was always tempted to pick up the NECA Pacific Rim figures. But again, I figured I'm not that into the movie. I can't collect everything. I have to show a little bit of a little restraint. However, these new Pacific Rim figures, there are a couple different companies doing them, but specifically Bandai are doing a series of figures in part of their robot, I think it's called Robot Kingdom, where they do sort of different various robots from TV shows and movies. And this is essentially an import figure, which normally would go for between $50 and $80. And they are showing up at Toys R Us's in Canada for about the same price as a Marvel Legends, as well as in the U.S. So this is a very high quality figure. The box says Bandai America, but this is much more of a Bandai Japan figure. Bandai Japan quality, like a Figure Arts or something like that. And I love SH Figure Arts by Bandai. So that was another reason I picked this guy up, and I absolutely love this figure. Again, not a super huge fan of Pacific Rim. I like it, but this figure is cool enough. And I mean, giant robots that fight giant monsters are cool in and of itself. So I have made the decision I am going to pick up all these guys. Because again, they are import quality for export prices. That's not right at all. They're import quality figures for domestic prices. So yeah, the only problem is Toys R Us, my Toys R Us only got a case in of Gypsy Avenger. They did not get the other two figures in this first wave. So that's a little strange. So I'll have to put a little bit of effort into finding those, but I occasionally put effort into things. And finally, this is actually the last thing I picked up. I picked this up Tuesday of last week. It is the new Justice League Blu-ray. I collect the steelbooks, the DC movie steelbooks, so this is one I definitely wanted to get. These, if you do want to get a steelbook, get it, pre-order it, go to your Best Buys first thing in the morning, because they tend to sell out no matter what movie it is. And what's really cool about this steelbook is Jim Lee did the cover art. So that is pretty cool. So like I said, I love collecting these steelbooks. I just like the presentation of them, how they look on the shelf, and I have all the other DC movies in steelbook, so definitely want to pick that up. So there you go, guys, a smorgasbord of things I have wasted my money on in the past week. When I find the Val Kilmer Batman, I'll probably do a video focusing on both of those guys, the Flash and the Val Kilmer Batman, and talk a little bit more about that signature collection. However, for now, there you go. Some pseudo junk I wasted my money on, but luckily it's not junk to us geeks. So thanks a lot for watching, guys, and until next time, I will see ya.